Hey there, I'm your name, and welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the most significant events that took place in the year 1914. From political upheavals to groundbreaking discoveries, 1914 was a year that shaped the course of history. We're talking about the kind of events that still have ripple effects today, so buckle up, grab your thinking caps, and let's journey back to 1914, a year that truly changed everything. Our story begins in Sarajevo, Bosnia, with the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. Imagine, if you will, a sunny June morning. Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie are visiting Sarajevo, and amidst the pomp and circumstance, a young Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip takes aim. Two shots ring out, forever etching this day into the annals of history. Franz Ferdinand and Sophie are dead, and the world watches in stunned silence. This wasn't just an assassination, it was a spark that ignited a powder keg. Europe in 1914 was a tangled web of alliances, and Austria-Hungary, fueled by grief and anger, blamed Serbia for the assassination and issued an ultimatum. Within weeks, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, and like dominoes falling, the rest of Europe was dragged into the conflict. Germany, allied with Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia and France, who were allied with Serbia. And just like that, the world was at war, a war that would become known as World War I, the Great War, the war to end all wars. With the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the powder keg of Europe finally exploded. Germany, bound by its treaty with Austria-Hungary, saw the assassination as an opportunity to assert its dominance in Europe. The German war plan, known as the Schlieffen Plan, was a bold, albeit risky strategy. It involved a rapid invasion of France through neutral Belgium, hoping to knock the French out of the war before Russia could fully mobilize its massive army. German troops stormed through Belgium despite fierce resistance and marched towards Paris. However, the Germans hadn't anticipated the tenacity of the Belgian resistance, which slowed their advance, nor the swift mobilization of the British Expeditionary Force. The French army also mounted a fierce defense, culminating in the First Battle of the Marne. The initial stages of the war were characterized by a sense of naive optimism on both sides. Many believed that the war would be over by Christmas, a tragically misguided notion. The stage was set for a long and bloody conflict that would forever scar the European continent. Amidst the outbreak of war in Europe, a remarkable feat of engineering was accomplished thousands of miles away. The Panama Canal officially opened. For decades, the idea of a canal connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans had been just that, an idea. But after years of planning and overcoming incredible challenges, the impossible became a reality. The Panama Canal was more than just a shortcut. It was a symbol of human ingenuity and ambition. It revolutionized global trade and transportation, slashing travel times for ships. The canal facilitated the movement of goods and people across the globe. The Panama Canal stands as a testament to human determination and the transformative power of technology. As German troops marched relentlessly towards Paris in the early days of World War I, a glimmer of hope emerged for the Allied forces. The First Battle of the Marne, fought in September 1914, proved to be a pivotal moment in the war, shattering Germany's hopes for a swift victory. Imagine the scene: exhausted French and British troops, desperately trying to hold back the German advance. The fate of Paris, and perhaps all of France, hung in the balance. The Germans, confident in their Schlieffen Plan, had pushed deep into French territory, their advance seemingly unstoppable. However, the French army, bolstered by British reinforcements and civilian volunteers, launched a desperate counteroffensive. Taxicabs from Paris were even requisitioned to rush troops to the front lines, a testament to the urgency of the situation. The battle raged for days, a brutal and chaotic affair fought in trenches, fields, and villages. The German advance, which had seemed unstoppable, began to falter. The First Battle of the Marne was a turning point in World War I. In the midst of World War I, a glimmer of humanity shone through the trenches. Christmas 1914 saw unofficial ceasefires along the Western Front, known as the Christmas Truce. Soldiers laid down their arms and ventured into no man's land. It began with carols, German soldiers singing Stille Nacht, British soldiers responding with Silent Night. They exchanged gifts, sang carols, and played football. These acts of camaraderie offered a stark contrast to the brutality of war. For a brief moment the trenches fell silent and the spirit of Christmas transcended the horrors of war. While war raged in Europe, the United States took a significant step towards modernizing its financial system. In December 1913, President Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act, establishing the Federal Reserve System, often referred to as the Fed. Before the Fed, the U.S. financial system was, to put it mildly, a bit chaotic. There was no central bank to regulate the money supply or provide emergency loans, which often led to financial panics and economic instability. The Federal Reserve was created to bring some order to this financial Wild West. It was designed to act as a lender of last resort for banks, providing stability and preventing widespread financial meltdowns. The Fed was also tasked with managing the nation's money supply, aiming to control inflation and promote economic growth. The establishment of the Federal Reserve was a landmark event in American financial history. The year 1914 was marked by a tragic event that exposed deep social and labor unrest in American society. The Ludlow Massacre, a clash between striking coal miners and the Colorado National Guard, shocked the nation and highlighted the brutal struggle for workers' rights. In Ludlow, Colorado, miners and families were striking against the Colorado Fuel and Iron Company. They fought for better wages, safer conditions, and union recognition. On April 20, 1914, the National Guard opened fire on the miners' tent colony. The massacre claimed around 20 lives, including women and children. The Ludlow Massacre became a symbol of the struggle for workers' rights in America. It sparked outrage, leading to investigations, hearings, and calls for reform. The Ludlow Massacre remains a dark chapter in American labor history. In the realm of entertainment, 1914 witnessed the birth of a cinematic icon, Charlie Chaplin. While the world grappled with war and social upheaval, Chaplin brought laughter and joy to millions with his unique brand of silent comedy. Imagine this: flickering black and white images on a screen, a little tramp with a toothbrush mustache, baggy pants, and a bowler hat, his movements both hilarious and poignant. Chaplin's comedic genius transcended language barriers, his characters resonating with audiences worldwide. His films, often infused with social commentary, offered an escape from the harsh realities of the time, providing laughter and a sense of shared humanity. Within a year of his film debut, he had become a global superstar, his image adorning posters, postcards, and merchandise. His films, such as The Tramp and the Kid, became instant classics, cementing his status as a cinematic legend. Chaplin's legacy extends far beyond his comedic genius. In a year marked by conflict and uncertainty, a day dedicated to celebrating mothers emerged. Mother's Day, as we know it today, was first celebrated in the United States in 1914, thanks to the tireless efforts of Anna Jarvis. Jarvis, who had cared for her own mother during the Civil War, envisioned a day where people could honor mothers and all that they do. She launched a letter-writing campaign, urging politicians, business leaders, and churches to support her cause. Her efforts paid off when President Woodrow Wilson, in May 1914, issued a proclamation designating the second Sunday in May as a national holiday to honor mothers. The first Mother's Day was met with widespread enthusiasm, with people across the country sending cards, flowers, and gifts to their mothers. It's a day to celebrate the special bond between mothers and their children. As the world watched in horror as war engulfed Europe, a momentous achievement in aviation took place. On January 1, 1914, the world's first scheduled passenger airline service took flight in Florida, ushering in a new era of air travel. Imagine this: a Benoist 14th flying boat piloted by Tony Janis taking off from St. Petersburg, Florida, carrying its lone passenger, former St. Petersburg Mayor Abram C. File, across Tampa Bay to Tampa. The flight, lasting a mere 23 minutes, covered a distance of about 21 miles, marking the birth of commercial aviation. While this first commercial flight might seem quaint by today's standards, it was a revolutionary achievement at the time. It captured the imagination of the public, hinting at a future where air travel would become commonplace. The Benoist Airboat Line, as it was called, operated for only a few months, hampered by limited demand and the limitations of early aircraft. It paved the way for future advancements in aviation technology and the eventual growth of the airline industry. And there you have it, folks, a whirlwind tour of the most significant events of 1914, a year that truly changed the world. From the battlefields of Europe to the skies above Florida, 1914 was a year of both triumph and tragedy, innovation and upheaval. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more historical insights. And be sure to let us know in the comments which event you found most fascinating. Until next time, keep exploring the past because as we all know, history is anything but boring.